Alrighty, we got our picture done, and it had a crash, so that's why we're sitting here with the engine off and all.
Calculating route.
And why it started raining
Please
again.
proceed to highlighted route.
Okay, let's see. Let's put it in drive. Let's turn this off. Oop, let's see. Yep, we're about halfway to needing sleep, so we'll have to take a look at that. In fact, let's go ahead, if we can, without it crashing. Let's go ahead in the world map and see where the closest place to where we going to be heading. Let's take a look at the route first, too. We're going to go back through Boise and Grangeville and all the way up to Coeur. All right. When we get through Boise, once we go there, oh, it's a long ways before we get to a sleep spot after Boise, isn't it? We got to go all the way up to Grangeville, it looks like, before you get to sleep. In Boise, well, there you go. You got this place. So we'll look at Boise. When we get to Boise, we'll consider where our sleeping is again. Alrighty? And we'll see how that's doing. Alright, let's turn the lights on. And let's turn the wipers on. And let's get our mirrors set where we want them. And then let's see if we can make this turn. If the wheel camera is going to give us a... That ain't bad. And it even lets us see how it's going back there in the mirror too. That ain't bad at all. That's not bad for just driving. Now, let's turn this way. Though I'd like to be a little bit more of a mirror that way. That still ain't too bad, though. Oop, see, that's why I wanted a little bit more mirror that way. Okay. Let's put a little bit more this way now. Get it all the way over here away from that gate. Good. Now, same thing. Let's swing it nice and wide. Then bring it back into the fold. I'm glad they shortened up that fence on this side too, just to make sure. We got enough room over there. It looks like we've straightened up enough. We need to pull on forward a little bit so we can see what the heck is going on. Some nice traffic out here today, I gotta say that. Even without the realistic traffic mod put in here, that's some heavy traffic going on, I guess for noontime. Looks like that truck's gonna stop for us. Nothing coming to the left, so let's see if we can call on out. Thank you, brother trucker! Y'all are so kind. Now, we're going to pull right on up here so we can be over here in this right-hand lane. As we block the whole dang kit and caboodle. And let's see if it's going to pull on up and straighten on up behind us here. These low boys are a little twitchy. Them lowboy trailers like that, they can get a little twitchy sometimes. Whoa! Stepping on them brakes can get a little twitchy too. I was wondering, welcome to Twin Falls. Well, we already been through Twin Falls. And I ain't gonna do any sightseeing. I think we've hit everything we want to hit, because there really ain't no need to do any driving around roads and stuff like that while we got a big old heavy load on us. That's just asking for trouble, asking for us to bang it into things, asking for us to run into people. I don't think we got to worry about breaking the speed limit through here either. Now, rain stop. think there's still a few little drops coming down. So I'd rather have my headlights all on. Let's see this traffic coming the other way, whether or not they got their lights on. It looks like their lights are turned off. So we'll go ahead and turn ours off too. I usually like to err on the safe side and have my lights turned on. Of course, nowadays every car's got running lights anyway. They always on if you got the engine on and you in drive. You just about always on. Yep, we ain't gonna make this one either. So let's go ahead and stop it. Ooh, all right. Let's take a break. Let's look around. I like them bikes over there. Now, there's one thing going on, you know, in Sturgis. In the Dakotas, over there, that town Sturgis, they're having bike week like they always have, and oh boy. I saw a pretty mean meme on Facebook that's sitting there. It's bike week in Sturgis. It showed a big picture of thousands of bikers running around, none of which wearing masks, of course, and said, expect some good deals on used bikes in about 6 weeks. That's a little mean-spirited, but it's got some truth behind it, you know? Because you wonder, you sit there and you go, how many cases are going to get spread because of, you know, thousands and thousands of people packed in like that. That'd be a good case for what football will be like. You know, they're already talking about over here, the college football, they're already talking about them having a high chance of canceling the entire season this year. Which I think is a damn good idea, because like here in town, you know, or here we got our stadium and it seats 120,000, I think. And can you imagine that? All right, we got a left coming up here. Can you imagine 120,000 people packed into a stadium?
Keep left, then turn left.
And about half the goobers not wearing masks and the other half taking their mask off all the time. I mean, that's just the way it is. It would not be nice. What we got over here? Is that a car dealership? It sure is. I saw that car sitting up there on that ramp like that being shown off going, hey, look at the deal of the day there. Now, you gonna give us turn light? Well, not yet, huh? You see those cars sitting up on those ramps showing them off going, look how pretty these cars are. Is that an okay? It doesn't say what kind of place that is. I'm gonna set the viewpoint right about there, because I think that's about where it put it whenever we turned our blinker on. That way we can see the green lights the other way and start creeping forward a little bit whenever they decide that they're gonna let us go. Yep, there's our turn arrow. Let's swing this wide, because if there was a car sitting there, we don't want to squish it if there was one sitting in that other lane. So let's get used to doing this now. And now we got a fire truck coming up behind us. See, people know what I drive like. They are good and ready for any emergencies that happen. They figure they better follow on along with a fire truck. In a just-in-case situation. Oh. We had to do a little heavy braking there right at the end. What we got going on here? Nothing that way? Nothing that way? Well, there wouldn't be nothing that way, would it? Now, you'll see a bunch of those. See right over there on that left, you'll see a bunch of those classic cars. Because there was an awful lot of classic cars, you know, in the thing. In the vanilla setup. You'll see a lot of these old classic, like 40s and 50s cars driving around. But seems like maybe they dialed them back a little bit. Because it don't seem like, let's see what this cross traffic looks like. Yeah, these look pretty modern. That's a nice Jeep there and some nice trucks and what looks like some Volvos and stuff. So that ain't too bad. Looks like they've dialed back on the all classic all the time stuff and put some more updated, more modern cars in. That's kind of an old station wagon going there, but that's okay. I like the old wood grain 70s station wagons. The old land yacht cruisers. Kind of thing you saw saw the Griswolds driving in the first Vacation movie. As we go along singing Holiday Road, Holiday Road. Better stop there before I get a copyright violation. Because you know I sound just like it. .35's the speed limit. I don't think we're going to have any danger of breaking that down through here. Ooh. That's unusual. You see someone sitting on a curb like that. Usually the pedestrians are further away from the road. They're like behind a wall or something. So that was a little unusual seeing one sitting on a bus stop like right there. Because you could probably hit that person if I slid off the road. That's interesting, shall we say. Oh, look at that vista out there. Looking at all the mountains in the distance. Alrighty. Let's see if we're going to get out of town anytime soon. We still ain't got to 84 yet. We're still trying to get out of Twin Falls. Now, let's hit going back across the Pirene Bridge. Let's try not to clip it this time, shall we? I still don't know what exactly we hit because I edited and put that one up this morning. That shows you how long it's been since my last video, my last trucking. So yeah, it's like even watching it, I still don't know how we clipped that other part of the bridge there unless we were just awful far off to the right. But we're gonna make sure we don't do it this time. Yep, and here it is. Speed limit's opening up to 60. But right as it does it, here's a stop sign right up ahead. Traffic light right up ahead of us. Oh, stop, stop, stop. Oh. It looks like we got a big old clover leaf coming up. So we don't be doing no speeding no how. This is starting to remind me of that Indiana Jack. He's one of the truckers that I watch. I watch two of them. I watch Indiana Jack, and I watch that Czech woman whose name I can't pronounce.
Keep right, then turn right.
And I watch a lot of them. And
turn right.
Indiana Jack, he does a lot of driving in the Midwest. So you get to see a lot of land like this. Awful lot of his videos when he was driving around, you see just stretches of miles and miles and miles and miles of stretches, terrain and scenery like this. Of course, he drove in other places. He drove in cities, and he'd drive down south where it was hills. And he talked about how bad the roads in like Louisiana and Mississippi were. So you had lots of hills and swamps and trees and stuff like that and bridges, but there's an awful lot of this stuff when he'd get out in the Midwest and he'd just drive for miles and miles down these roads where it was just, as they call, big sky country. I mean, you can see why they call it the big sky country, you know? See it right up ahead of us there. All this big sky. Now, I'm hoping that we got a straight on shot on to Boise. I'm going to sit here for a second. Let's see. Yep, I think we're going to take a nap at Boise when we got there. We got 466 miles to go. They're estimating game time a little less than 9 hours of game time. It's Saturday. It's almost noon on a Saturday. So I don't know what that time was we were looking before, or was that the time there? That's the estimated time of us getting there Saturday. That's what it is. So that looks like they're figuring in we're going to take a nap along the way too. That's what they usually do. Alright, yep, we're going to go ahead and pass up this opportunity. Although it might have been smart to take it, because get to Boise. Getting in the sleeping, yep. In fact, I was thinking about that. Yeah, when we get to Boise, we're going to be hauling a trailer, especially a big heavy trailer like this, with one of those, trying to maneuver in and out of those dealership or garage, which is what that's going to be. That's going to be a little bit difficult. So if we see another rest stop before then, we're probably going to take it. Although I got a feeling we may just have missed our last opportunity. We'll see what happens. Meantime, enjoy this pretty scenery here. Once again, remember this is vanilla. You can especially tell it on the roads. The roads aren't nearly as dirty and scuffed up and tire marks and stuff as you would expect with the roads on these interstates, all these trucks driving and stuff like that. You expect them to be a lot more scuffed up and all, not quite as, obviously it's got that oil slick down the middle here, but still these concrete roads ought to be a little bit dirtier than this. Of course, if it was a real concrete road, we'd be we'd hate it, because we'd be hitting every single joint and it'd be going ta-tum, 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 ta-tum. Oh, there's a couple of parts of the interstate as it goes through Atlanta that's concrete and got the joints in between, and it's ta-tum, 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 ta-tum. And oh Lord, I hate them. Hate them with a passion, I do. Alright, looks like there might be some rest stops coming up. Duck Valley Indian Reservation. And that goes to Mountain Home. We went through Mountain Home. Mountain Home was the scenic town that we went through. Don't have nothing there to drop off or deliver or anything, but it was just pretty scenery and all, so that the roads just aren't empty all the time. The part I don't really care for now is just the fact that we're just driving along and rest area 1 mile. We'll take the next one, because like I said, I'm rethinking that whole Boise thing. Let's slow it down a little bit. I don't want to take this curve at 60. Especially if we're going to be turning off into the rest area. Yeah, let's not do that. I said, that camera, we might need to... There are some settings for it.
Recalculating route.
There are some settings for it where you can turn it so it isn't quite that extreme.
Recalculating route.
We'll set it to maybe turn like maybe 20 degrees instead of that big old sharp 45 degree that one does, although I like being able to see my mirror. Now, we're going to get on up here. We're going to sleep. And we're going to call this an episode, I'll bet you. But I'm pretty sure. It's been at least 20 minutes. Yeah, it's been 20. It's been 20 on that right up there. So it's been at least 20 minutes. Plus all the stuff before we got here. So we're going to come right on up here and we're going to stop. Put the parking brake on, turn the engine off. Make sure our lights and everything are off. Let's get outside and let's scroll around. Ooh, look at there. We've hauled that exact configuration of tankers before. That is a nice hauler on the back of that, ain't it? Nice scraper on the back of our low boy there. I like it. All right, folks, that's where we'll stop. I will see y'all next time, and I will wait until next time to get some sleep. All righty? So we'll see you then. Bye-bye. Actually, who the heck? Who the heck am I? I'm on drugs. Well, I meant to say is, thank you for coming with me.